Okay, thank you very much, Arnab. We are having a great conversation today about the power of smiling and eye contact and
Yes.
modeling. And I wanted to capture this conversation because I think many people will benefit from it. So let's rewind a little. And we were talking about, I'm just looking at my notes here. We were talking about how you're able now to make better, more powerful, more engaging eye contact,
Yeah.
and how smiling kind of plays into that. Maybe you can share with us what in the world does smiling have to do with eye contact and modeling?
Right. Absolutely. So I used to struggle a lot because I almost avoided smiling because I was thinking about stuff, about my speech when I was interacting with people. But what happens is that when you're modeling well, and because I am actually modeling you, and you always start your speech with a smile, with a short smile,
Mm,
which is great. So what that does is that because I'm smiling, it kind of it kind of breaks the ice to the person that I'm talking with, and it allows me to feel much more relaxed. It allows me to feel that I'm in control. It also avoids me to think about other things which I was actually thinking about when I used to speak earlier. So smiling is so important in the fact that it it not only improves your overall communication because you are a smiling person. I mean, everyone likes a person who smiles. I've not heard a guy who hates a smiling guy, but it's also the entire essence in the fact that it kind of reinforces your model because if you smile well, you're automatically relaxed, and that helps you to trigger your model and say the things you want to say in a smooth and confident fashion.
yeah.
A- Another important thing which smiling does is, and it helps me a lot, is the fact that I used to avoid a lot of eye contact
Mm,
because I was almost thinking about things which I should not have thought about my speech. I felt that I'm I will have this choppy speech or I'm going to get stuck. So I used to look down below or look up above and avoid any sort of straight eye to eye contact.
hmm
And that is to put me under a lot of pressure because I'm avoiding an eye contact and also I'm also thinking about things I have to say, and I automatically had like this choppy speech. So it all is to like come together into this horrible package when I'm not able to say out anything. I can't see you in the eye. I can't speak well, and now I'm also struggling and almost reinforcing that.
mm,
But what smiling does is because you're smiling. I mean, you never smile to a wall, or you never smile to something that does not exist. You smile at a person, right? You smile
right.
at your audience. So that allows you to, and almost forces you to see the audience in the eye. So you see the audience, you smile. Most of the audience also smiles back, generally, and that helps you to feel so much relaxed, and that helps you to start your speech in a really smooth and soothing way. So that's the thing. I really feel that how smiling and having an eye contact really reinforces this entire part of modeling and how important
Yeah.
that part is in this entire thing.
Now, you gave me an example of just a small example of when you would go to order coffee, for example, and
Right.
how you would greet the person and smile, and how before you didn't. So share that example again.
Absolutely. So before, when I used to go to Starbucks, I used to look at this entire menu, and I knew that I have to order hot coffee. And I always used to struggle with my C words. I'm like, hot coffee, oh man, I can't say that word out. I know it. I'm absolutely going to struggle with that. So what I used to do was this. I used to avoid seeing the guy who was actually taking my order.
Mm,
I used to look just at the menu and try to say out hot coffee as fast as possible, so that I avoid saying it, looking into his eye, because if I look into his eye, he would see that I am actually stuttering, and then he would judge me, and then it always is a downhill from there on. What now I've done, at least in the last few months, is the fact that whenever I go and order coffee, the first thing I do is I ask that guy how he or she is doing. So, hi, how are you doing? Are you doing great? So that kind of breaks the ice, and that does like so many things. So first, it forces you to see the person eye to
Mm,
eye. It also forces you to smile, because I'm modeling it. So I'm trying to smile at the
mhm,
start. It relaxes you right away.
mhm.
It avoids you to think about the thing that you have to order. So you don't have to think about the hot coffee. You don't have to think about the word see now, because you just said how that person is doing. So he just replies back, yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great. So what do you want to order? So now I can just see into the menu and just order the thing I want, because I've not thought about that actual a coffee thing for an extended period of time, but it was
Mm,
almost instantaneous.
right.
And that is so quick. So even though I might actually struggle with that C word, but because now everything is in flow and everything is in sync, I've not thought about the word hot coffee, and now hot coffee comes out really well.
Exactly.
So now it's a split second when
Exactly.
everything is in track. So that's how I feel that really helps, at least in
Yeah.
these kind of situations.
So two things. One is uh, one of the strategies that we talk about in the proactive presentation system. So for those of you that are watching that may not have heard of this, there's the Pro 90D speech system, which now I'm adding something to it they call Pro 90D speech and presentation system, right? Well, a part of the current program is making presentations. That's a big part of the program. And in that part, there are 12 strategies, and one of the strategies is smiling. So, smiling is important both for making formal presentations for the same reasons that you said you're connecting with your audience, you're engaging, you feel more relaxed when you smile, they feel more relaxed when you smile, and many of them smile back. But it's also smiling is also helpful, as we've just seen, in conversations in
Yep.
everyday for many of the same reasons. So that was the one thing that I wanted to share, is that this is a part of this whole thing. The other thing that I wanted to say is that what you've just described, I mean, and you did it in a wonderful way, so articulate, is this idea of focus. And I'm going to be doing a webinar on this and maybe even a little series. What you think about and focus on determines how you feel and how you speak. So the
Yes.
coffee example is perfect. If you're going in the Starbucks and all you're thinking about is, I'm not going to be able to order the coffee I want because I'm not going to be able to say it, and that's all you're thinking about, chances are you're either not going to go to Starbucks. There are a lot of people that avoid going, or when you go, you're going to struggle, right? But just by shifting your focus and actually just being in the moment and saying, okay, I'm just going to smile, I'm going to do this. You're not thinking about the coffee. You're not thinking about the word. You're just connecting with that person and
Yeah.
smiling. Then when it comes time for the coffee, maybe you hesitate a little bit, or maybe you don't because you haven't been focused on it. So what I want to say is that one of the major reasons that people struggle so much is because they're actually focused on and thinking about doing the very things they want to avoid. They're thinking about, I hope I don't get stuck. I can't get stuck. I don't want to get stuck. What happens? What is this person thinking about me? They're thinking about those, and that's what they get. They actually get stuck. They struggle. They feel embarrassed because that's what they're focused on.
Right.
But by
Absolutely.
shifting our focus to something else, what's the something else? Many of the things we talked about today, by shifting and keeping your focus there, you find that the struggles diminish and often disappear.
Yep. Also the fact that sometimes if you have like shifted your focus, even if you have a choppy speech or even if you almost get stuck, you don't feel bad now, because it's part of this entire conversation now, which left you with a positive experience. So you might have still a few words which you did struggle, but now I don't feel bad about it because I did start well. I did smile, I did greet. We had
Yes.
a good conversation. It was a good experience.
Yes.
So now you don't have to focus on some minor things which you will definitely improve later. But at least for that particular experience, it's a great experience you had. So that's great to like
Yes.
completely shift your focus.
Wonderful. Well, listen, this is was one of these little short lessons that I wanted to capture and share with our audience. I just wanted to let people know that you, at the time of this recording, you are pretty close to defending your thesis to get your PhD in the
Yes,
next couple of months, right? It should
right.
be coming up really soon. So maybe probably I think that you and I will be doing some additional videos, and hopefully by that time you will be a doctor, and
Hopefully.
and you will be, and you're also a private coaching client,
Right.
and so there's a lot of benefits that both you and I and our audience has derived from that relationship. Some of these videos are a product of that as well.
Sure.
Um, so just as we wrap this up, I just would like for you to share, if someone is watching this video and they're considering coaching, what would you tell them?
The coaching is, I mean, it has changed my speech so much. I mean, Michael knows it. I mean, when I actually started the entire coaching thing, I had to speak extremely fast and extremely choppy. What it has done me is that it has first allowed me to understand what were the things which was lacking in my speech. So it has filled me up with that. And this entire concept of modeling, it's an amazing feeling, like how you implement your modeling and how you really implement that in your day-to-day life. If you're speaking to someone or if you have some sort of presentation, how modeling helps you overcome this feeling that you're going to get stuck. The third and the most important thing that it has done to me is that it has changed my mindset of speaking. So now I'm not thinking about, I'm sorry, this is
That's
stupid.
okay.
But now but now I'm not thinking about uh, that I am a choppy speaker. Now I'm thinking about how I have to communicate with people,
Yes.
how I have to have value in the things that I am saying, and how I don't focus on the small things but look at the larger picture of your entire experience of having these sort of communications. And that is such an important mindset change that now you don't feel that you are a bad speaker. Now you feel that you can always improve as a speaker. And that in itself is a huge change because that completely changes your speech. And that's what I think doing this coaching has helped me so much because it has changed my mindset of speaking. So
You're
that's what I
right.
would say.
And I'll just add, if you're watching this and you're a professional and then you're going to be in a competitive environment to one degree or another, and you're either going to want to level up your career in some way at some point, right? Even if you're self-employed or whatever. And here's the thing, you don't get points for not stuttering.
Right,
You don't get points for not stuttering. You get points for being a superior communicator.
right,
And so this program, this approach is really about helping you become a superior communicator, superior speaker, a smoother speaker, not just not stutter. So if you're watching this and all you want is to not stutter, this is probably not the program for you. If you want to become an excellent speaker, a smooth speaker, superior, so that you can be competitive, right? And you can get to the next level in your professional life and your social life, then this is the way to go.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, man.
No
We
problem.
will wrap it up, and we'll probably do some more of these in the future.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.